101 Dalmatians. Puppy trouble. We won't be gone long, Pongo told Perdita. The 2 Dalmatians were joining their human pets, Roger and Anita Radcliffe, for a picnic. It was a beautiful summer day in London, and Pongo couldn't wait to get to the park. "I'm not sure we should leave the puppies," said Perdita. "Will Nanny be able to handle all 15 of them by herself?" Nanny was the Radcliffe's housekeeper, and she took excellent care of all the dogs. Pongo looked at the puppies, curled up peacefully in their sleeping basket. What could possibly go wrong, he asked. Perdita nodded and tried to forget her worries as she followed Pongo out into the sunshine. Soon the puppies began to yawn and stretch. Lucky woke up first. The smell of fresh summer air made him want to go outside. "Let's get Nanny to take us for a walk," he suggested to the other puppies. The puppies couldn't wait to get outside and chase each other and play with butterflies and roll around in the dirt. They ran up to Nanny, who was watering some plants, with leashes in their mouths. "Oh dear," said Nanny, looking into their big, hopeful eyes. "I suppose puppies do need a walk now and then." And so, when all 15 puppies were on their leashes, she led them out to the sidewalk. At the playground, the puppies scampered off to explore. Patch and Pepper began digging in a sandbox. Rowan found a rope to chew. Nanny tried to keep an eye on all of them, but that was hard to do. When she went to retrieve Penny, who had gotten tangled in some vines, Lucky suddenly spotted a butterfly. He tried to pounce on it, but it flew off toward a slide. Lucky chased it up some steps. Then the butterfly flew to a wall. Lucky jumped up and landed right by it, but the next instant it was gone. "Look at me," Lucky called happily. "I'm taller than everyone else." But his brothers and sisters were too busy playing to hear him and see him jump over the wall. The next thing Lucky knew, he landed on the back of a fire truck speeding down the road. The truck's sirens blared and Lucky barked. "I'm a real fire dog." Lucky enjoyed the ride, but he was glad when the fire truck stopped next to a big tree. There was a kitten stuck high in the branches, and a firefighter had to climb up to rescue it. Lucky hopped down from the truck to run back to the playground. "A puppy!" someone exclaimed. It was a little girl pushing a doll carriage. She scooped Lucky up. "You be my new dolly," she told him. She put a bonnet on Lucky's head and plopped him into the carriage. "Grrr!" Lucky growled. He didn't like being a doll, and besides, he wanted to get back to his family. Suddenly, the girl stopped. "A button!" she cried, bending over, and Lucky saw his chance. He jumped out of the carriage and took off. At the end of the block, he heard barking. His brothers and sisters were close. Lucky raced across the street. Honk! A car swerved and drove through a puddle, splashing mud all over him. But Lucky kept running and running until he reached the playground at last. Nanny was at the park fence, trying to count all the puppies, but they kept running around. "Oh, I give up," she finally said. Lucky barked and barked, scratching eagerly at the gate. Nanny looked down. "Why, hello, little pup," she said as Lucky wagged his tail. "Too bad you can't come with us. But you're not a Dalmatian. You should find your own family. I'm sure they're worried about you." Lucky was confused, but then he saw his reflection in a puddle on the ground. He was covered with dirt. Nanny wouldn't recognize him unless he washed off all the mud. He saw some children playing in a fountain and ran to jump in too. Once all the dirt was off, Lucky shook out his fur. You've got my newspaper wet, a man on a bench yelled angrily as Lucky raced home. When Lucky reached the Radcliffe's house, he spotted Nanny outside. "My goodness," Nanny said as he ran past her. "Where did you come from?" Lucky ran straight to his sleeping basket and curled up with the other puppies and yawned. When Pongo and Perdita came home, they found Lucky nestled in the basket, sound asleep. "You see," Pongo whispered to Perdita, "I told you nothing would go wrong."